Clear the runway, baby. I get money from Sunday to Sunday, lady. Oh, behave. I'm young, rich, famous. Trying to keep my pockets on Schwarzenegger. They love a star, and I'm flashing. Life just like a movie, no casting. My girl got a pocket bubbler in her purse. She keep it G impeccable with weed and let me hit it first. Ain't trying to be a hog dog. Yeah, all I want is what I'm worth. I'm rolling up another one, staring out this window. You find me anywhere that papers go.
It is your boy, Willie B. I got a new drop, but you know, somebody who's been around. Wiz Khalifa tonight. He hails from Minot, North Dakota. He's a military brat, moved around a lot. From Dakota, lived in Germany and Japan until finally settling, living with his mother in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where he attends and graduates high school. He already had the hip hop bug in him. He started writing his raps, and he went by the name Wiz. So like people used to call him the Wiz, and this new Khalifa name he had adopted. So he put the two together, Wiz Khalifa, which is an Arabic term meaning wisdom. Rostrum Records president Benji Grimberg. He got wind of Wiz. He decided to sign Wiz to a development deal. 2005, he releases his first mixtape called Prince of the City. Welcome to Pennsylvania. For the following year, him putting out his debut project called Show and Prove. 2007 comes around. Wiz ends up signing to Warner Brothers, and they released two mixtapes under Warner called Grow Season, Prince of the City 2 in 2008 and 2009, Star Power, and Flight School. 2009, he parts ways from Warner Brothers, links up with Currency. They put out a collaborative mixtape, How Fly. 2009, he puts out another mixtape, Burn After Rolling. That same year, he releases his second album, which is called Deal or No Deal. 2010, gets the XXL freshman cover. 2011, he releases his third studio album, Rolling Papers. 2011, he gets more into the film industry. Him and Snoop Dogg does a movie, and he drops a soundtrack that year called Mac and Devin Go to High School. 2012, ONIFC. 2014, Black Hollywood. And then 2018, he gives you Rolling Papers 2. Obviously, in the background of all of this, he's dropping many mixtapes, Cushion Orange Juice, Cabin Fevers, 28 Grams. It leads us right here to today. He just dropped a project called Wiz Got Wings. He's getting together with two producers that he used to produce with earlier in his career.
I'm a queen. Wizzle got wings. Wizzle got everything. Come back to my crib, you ain't gon' never leave. Yellow ashes on your sheets. And some rape bones that's on release. Got a big ass chain in my gang is underneath. Know that this a classic and car don't wanna meet.
It's like you can hear him, like, I don't know if that's aging or just he smokes so damn much that you just hear his voice getting a little more raspier with time. I'm just so used to that youthful Wiz voice. So that's what sticks out to me immediately on this first song, but I like the vibes. He always gonna give you something kind of to smoke to. And this feels like a lax LAX type of song. You just touch down, and this is some shit you hear when your homie pick you up or some shit when you get in the car and it's nighttime.
Hopping off the jet, more money to invest. I gotta have fun, business never neglect. Niggas know it's the gang, they never disrespect. $250,000, I put that on my neck. Wanna come at my ride, you better come correct. My niggas down the slide, I put that on the set.
Can't Stay Sober. It's like an atmosphere vibe, kind of very similar to the very first record. I kind of like this tones. It remind me of Snoop Dogg when he was working with Pharrell a little bit. But this song ain't a hit. Like, I don't really care for the hook on it. This song is whatever to me. It's skippable. It's almost too similar to the first vibe. But I'm hanging.
We don't really pass on, we just smoke. We don't really pass on, we just smoke. I hope you got your own rolled up. I hope you got your own rolled up. We don't really pass on, we just smoke. We don't really pass on, we just smoke. I hope you got your own rolled up.
This is the first one that I can say like I'm really on board with. The beat is dope. It's still in the atmosphere, but it's like it's moving. It's slowly moving in a direction. I like the hook. This is the best hook I've heard so far. Like you hear this the third time, you be like, this joint is tight, you know. But you hear it the first time, you be like, all right, I'm feeling it. But you gotta kind of listen to it more. He call it it's a personal party, so he's basically just talking about if you see me at the function, you know I got a lot of weed, but bring your own. He's like, you know, don't necessarily be just smoking up all my shit. Have your own personal shit.
These niggas ain't built like us. These niggas ain't real like us. Heard he found another way. They ain't in the field like us. Heard he got a lot of pressure on him. Stress been building up. Heard that I'm the realest nigga in the building. Heard that if you smoke this kush that it don't make you chill. Heard that just because you're famous it don't make you real.
This is like a very aggressive weed song. He just does various temperatures of weed songs. As a song, I'm like cool on it, but this beat is really dope, really dynamic. I love the transitions on it. If he had created a different song to this, it could probably be something special. But like it's the weed concept. It's more in depth, but it's still a weed concept. He's like aggressively like I will pull up on you and smoke you the fuck out. Like he's like dumb aggressive with that shit. Like first feature I've heard, Fed the God. Don't know who he is, but this type of beat, I like what he's bringing to it. He's bringing like a different youthful flow to it. The flow he using is familiar. It reminds me of where I'm from, but like it's newer to the game. Like people don't really flow like that. It's more gutter of a flow that he bringing, and I really like it. It makes me more interested in him because it's very different. The song is still some mid.
Uh, Counting up, millions making a mountain, that's us. Dive in that bitch like Scrooge McDuck. I can have anything I want, won't hesitate to roll the weed up. Pounds for days, I keep a fresh cut.
Off that them old school Wiz vibes, like that never been. It's kind of tapping into that vibe. Not as crisp as that, but definitely that back of the strip club feel. I really love this beat. For some reason I'm not crazy about this song. It's like I've heard it done a little better than this, but it's got the vibe. Like if you heard it at the right time, you're not complaining. You're not saying anything about it. Young Digi, DJ, I don't know who he is or how to say his name, but he sounds pretty smooth on it. He doesn't really stand out, but he's just cool.
When the check clear, we getting more gear. Buying shit that we won't wear. Taking cars around the block, going places we ain't even supposed to go near. Red Ferrari, my nigga just bought it. Yellow Lamborghini, had to have it when I seen it. Hit the studio, you gon' swear that I'm a genius.
Okay, this beat definitely perked my ears up. Really like this beat. And he's sticking with kind of a certain tempo, a certain groove so far on this project. It's very cohesive and it's not like he's jumping all over the place with the sounds. He's kind of, keeping it on the line and giving you variations off of a certain vibe, which I like it. He's keeping it somewhat themed, which I've never heard really from him. The hook is a little like it's got to grow on me a little more, but he's not fucking it up because he's like right on the line of like something you've heard before and then taking it somewhere very new and different. So it's always a little tricky when you're playing with that melody wise.
Smoke you out properly. Roll with me, you see lots of weed. Like a doctor, we got degrees. Smoking kush overseas. Satisfy her once in her needs. She with me on her knees. Nigga, please. You ain't smoking pounds like these.
It's simple, but it's retro. It feels like the 80s, but new school. New school almost like timing to it, but with old school sounds. Of course, it could have been better songwriting wise, but Wiz did a really good job with it. I'm with it.
And if you pussy, I could read you. Don't get out of line and let hating niggas mislead you. talking shit on niggas, don't know why you feel the need to. About to crash your whip, that's what having too much speed will do.
It's got to grow on me a little bit, but even off of first taste, I'm like, this is dope. The hook is a little, you know what I mean, need a little salt for me. You know what I mean? I get it though. It's like the new wave with shit, and Wiz is always on new waves, so that's not foreign to hear him hit this shit. Like this sounds right up his alley. Like I cannot hate on it. It feels good to me listening to it. So even when my hate array try to come out crazy, you know, it goes back in its corners because the haterade just comes out and start jamming, you know. So like, and the way he dropped the beat and just let his vocals go at the end, like makes me even appreciate it more for just his melodies with that shit.
I'm having intellectual. Shorty texting me sexual shit. I'm wondering how I make my next move, my best move. So I apply pressure. Residue from a pound on my dresser. Receipts from her heels cause I dress her. Don't ask me if I keep it real. Ask me if I keep the shit after the tag's ill. Wi-Fi, cold phone, bag and steel.
Keeping the same vortex in a sense, but you know, adding things to it, keeping that same bass beat, and you know, just adding different tempos to it. Um, I respect him keeping it in a vein. I've never really heard that from him. Got Currency on here, and it's refreshing even to hear Currency because I don't always like Currency verses, but I love Currency's vibe and beats and everything. Like you know, he's just not always. Sometimes he just found that shit and he just be playing around, but he's the ultimate like rambling spitter, bro. Like he's found a way to carve his own lane. Like, and it's just his shit. He don't oversell it. He don't undersell it. So shout out to Currency, man. He's got that cult following too. It's like the way niggas like the movie Superbad and shit. That's how they like Currency.
I put in work. Ripping my gang to the dirt when was in her purse. Ain't concerned what was under her skirt. Jumping my car, I'm making it skirt. Stay on my job, they know what I'm worth. I gotta be the freshest nigga on earth. Make her eat up, then I give her dessert. I got numbers on my shirt cause I'm a player. I pay for it, so I own it. Blow kush smoke, it ain't fair.
The vibrations is just right on here. You know, it's feel good music, man. Like if you smoke, it's just like, you know, medicine type shit, you know, and that's what he understands. That he understands like hip hop medicine. Smoke, like if you just got a sack and you on the West Coast, man, you can just throw this shit on even in the morning, man. When you rolling up your little shit, this shit gonna bump just perfect. It's not too much, it's not too little, you know. It's got that beat, but it ain't too, you know what I mean. It's just a nice little morning joint for real that you could bump. Morning hip hop song for people who listen to hip hop in the morning. Sometimes.
She don't wanna be left out. Let her hit the weed, it's the best out. Came over to my crib with her chest out. Best friend hating, she the next one waiting. We can get them bucks, but you gotta have patience. Lame ass niggas, me and them no relation. Come over to my crib and catch a vibration. Another 100 million, thanks to Live Nation.
Like Tarantino, this might be like this fighting for my tops on this project, just because this beat is like out there enough for me and in the groove enough for me to be like, damn. And I like what he did with it. The opening to this, his songwriting on this is very crisp. And I see why he called it Black Tarantino, because it does feel like those different sounds that Tarantino requires for his movies in the scores. They're always like alarming. They almost remind me of like Public Enemy. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like Tarantino like ripped a little bit of Public Enemy back in the day, just to produce some of the sounds. You know.
Jump in my ride, then she gon' pull him to the side. She see them diamonds, she start covering her eyes. Only them real niggas ain't fucking with no lies. You see them blacks, you ain't surprised. I work hard.
You know, the hook that Wiz did is fluid. Larry June, though, he came on here and I really liked the way he got his Too Short on. He sound like early Too Short, like the tempo he's spitting at. That's some old Short Dog shit. The song, you know, it's one that's gonna grow on me more, but shit, if I'm in the Bay, this shit is one of them joints in the Bay where they gonna go up. Yeah.
Leave a cushion the joint, keep them $sign eyes. Don't question my intentions or mention me poorly. You way out of line. Make a decision, this boss advice. You don't wanna take it, I won't give it. But when it's all said and done, at least I kept it 100 with you.
Yeah, this is such a Wiz type of beat, like some different shit. You know, only him and like ASAP Rocky would get to a beat like this. You know, just because of the super almost pocket of it, but then it's just off. You know, it just goes a different direction. But I really enjoy it, man. I think you got to have an open palate to enjoy this type of record. Um, and I do. It's one that's got to even grow on me a little more. But I mean, Wiz on his lyric tip, he ain't really, you kind of know where he gonna go. He ain't about to wow you too much.
West Coast living, West Coast swimming. Midwest nigga doing West Coast business. I done seen it all. See me off the net like you seen a ghost. My niggas been down since day one. I gotta keep them close. I'm good with numbers. I can count it backwards. Ain't talking hood bitches when they pull up with the ratchets.
And I ain't heard Chevy in a minute. I ain't like listened to Chevy Woods in a long time. And it seemed like he got better. Seemed like he got a lot better just from listening to this verse from him. He sounds really good on here. Other than that, I'm cool on the song, but it's good to hear Chevy Woods on this joint. Shout out to Chev. Because I did like a few of his early joints, but I never kept up with him. But he'll pop up again on this show. Wiz got Wings, scored a 40. Shit gotta grow on me, dog. You can't listen to a Wiz project and just like not like shit. Like what the fuck? And this is definitely not whack. It's really themed in its production. I like the artwork of it. You know, it's really dope. Take you back to that like, you know, Dolomite type of shit. You know, it feels like black exploitation imagery, but it doesn't knock your socks off. It's not something you're gonna just keep listening to over and over. It's not cover to cover listen or anything. Shout out to Wiz, man, Cardo, Sledrin, you know, the whole crew. Y'all gotta understand that Dave Bots did this. Dave Bots did it, man. Get over there, man. Support. And look, get over to blessedthings.com. Get involved. And man, that's gonna be it for you, boy. Y'all be safe. I love y'all. And